I'm Eleanor Voss, Ellie to most. I'm a journalist who chases the stories others only whisper about in the dark. I've spent my life hunting for the truth, but here's what I've learned: the truth doesn't always want to be found. It hides. It waits. And sometimes, it hunts you back. This is where it all began, the Amityville House, 112 Ocean Avenue. February 28, 2025, just before midnight, I stood in front of it. In 1974, Ronald DeFeo murdered his entire family here. Later, the Lutz family fled after just 28 days of terror. The air was freezing, like someone was breathing down my neck. I pushed the door open. It creaked, though it wasn't locked. Inside, the darkness swallowed everything. Then I heard it, slow, heavy footsteps from upstairs. 1, 2, 3, then silence. The stench of blood hit me, sharp and sour, even though the floor was spotless. I flicked on my flashlight, and there it was, blood, fresh and red, seeping down the wall from the ceiling like the house was weeping. The light flickered, then died. A low growl rumbled from the basement, deep and guttural, like a caged beast. Out of the shadows, they appeared, 6 figures, the DeFeo family. Faint and ghostly, their eyes pure white, mouths stretched wide in silent screams. A little girl stepped forward, her hand reaching out. Her voice was small but sharp as a blade. Run, before it sees you. Then I saw it, 2 blazing red eyes staring up from the basement, paired with a raspy, inhuman laugh. I ran to the door, pounding on it, nails breaking, blood running down my hands. It swung open at the last second, and I fell out into the night. But I knew, it had seen me. It had marked me. I drove halfway across the country to San Jose, but the feeling of being watched from Amityville never left me. This is the Winchester Mystery House, a labyrinth built by Sarah Winchester to escape the spirits of those killed by her husband's rifles. 161 rooms, 40 staircases, and whispers that never stop. I stepped inside and heard it right away, a steady hammering, like the house's heartbeat. I walked down a narrow hall, and there she was in the mirror, Sarah Winchester, veiled in black. I turned, but the hallway was empty. Her veil slipped, revealing a face white as death, eyes like bottomless holes. Then the whispers started, hundreds of voices piling into my head. Her blood is our blood. Your blood will be ours too. I entered a room of mirrors. In every one, twisted faces stared back, eyes bleeding, hands clawing out. Glass shattered, and blood poured from the frames, pooling red on the floor. The floor shook. A cold, bony hand grabbed my neck. I spun around, Sarah's face inches from mine, lips moving soundlessly. Then they came, victims of Winchester rifles, holding rusted guns, white eyes glaring. They closed in, draining the life from me. I ran, but every door led to more mirrors, more blood, more eyes. I escaped through a window, collapsing on the lawn. But the hammering echoed in my ears, a reminder I wasn't truly free. I don't remember driving to New Orleans. After Winchester, everything blurred, like something pulled me here. This is the LaLaurie Mansion, where Madame Delphine tortured and killed dozens of slaves 2 centuries ago. They say their souls are still trapped in these walls. I walked in, and the smell hit me, iron, gunpowder, and rotting flesh. Moans echoed from every corner, stifled and desperate. The stench was so strong I wanted to retch, but I couldn't stop. I climbed to the attic, where she did her worst. A small figure knelt there, chained, its face slashed to ruin, eyes empty. Then I heard footsteps, soft, but menacing. She appeared, Madame LaLaurie, her gown soaked in blood, eyes burning bright, a wicked smile on her lips. Around her, chained figures crawled forward, flesh torn, reaching for me. Something threw me down. They crawled closer, cold hands tearing at my skin, leaving bloody gashes. Their pain flooded me, the whips, the breaking bones, like a tidal wave in my mind. She stood there, laughing, wanting me to stay forever. I grabbed a shard of glass and stabbed the nearest one. It dissolved into black smoke, screaming. I bolted down the stairs, tumbling out onto the street, but their moans chased me still. I survived, but I'm not me anymore. Those houses, Amityville, Winchester, LaLaurie, they're not just haunted. They're hungry mouths, swallowing anyone who dares step inside. If you hear this, don't go near them. Don't look for me. I'm not sure the thing speaking to you now is still human.